always peace and blessings be upon you. And I mention both Jesus and Muhammad's names because, in my opinion, they were both authors of truth and reality. And I'm doing a show today about history 101. You know, I got a lot of requests from people on the street saying they wanted to talk about Columbus and talk about George Washington. Again, we're going to throw in the Native Americans, people that were native to these lands, the Indians, and just going to try to come with the truth. That's all. So I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves. I'm going to start from my right and ask us to tell a little about yourselves before we get started. Thank you.
My name is Bill Gadomski. I'm an Access producer, and I believe I'm the last revolutionary left in Chicago.
Okay.
I'm Patricia. I'm Petu Washdewi. My charge I'm Petu Washdewi. My name is Good Day Woman in our Sioux language.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Rashad Pinkerton, security guard for 20th Century Services.
Okay. You know, first I thank y'all for taking time out of your daily routine to come down on the show. I appreciate that, but let me get to the point. As Bill always says.
Yeah, to the point.
And you know what I want to ask, the Indians, we're going to start with the Indians, okay? What reality is in America, I'm going to ask all of you, were they the first ones here? And there are people that say that Columbus discovered it first. So can we go down the line and get opinions on that?
I think it's obvious Native Americans were here. That's why we call them Native Americans.
Okay.
And the fact that Columbus simply made his discovery public. There's evidence that West Africa traded with the New World, perhaps as long as 2,000 years ago, that Carthaginians probably traveled to North America perhaps as early as 500 BC. In fact, their ships were larger than Columbus's ships and easily could have made it. We know there's documentation that the Scots traveled to North America at least as early as 1386 documentation, and probably earlier, but it was kept, of course, all this was kept a trade secret.
Okay.
In fact, the Carthaginians kept it a trade secret that they were taking tin from Cornwall for centuries.
Okay.
So it just happens to be that Columbus was the first one to make his journeys public.
Okay. Can you jump in on it?
Yes. One of the things that I really believe that we are the First Nations people. We're the First Nations of this world here. And this is the Western Hemisphere. And basically, the Creator gave us this land to share with everyone. And we are sharing it with everyone. And sometimes, especially with Columbus, he took advantage of our hospitality, became brutal with us. Even with the first pilgrims, it was brutality. It wasn't, even though we were very loving people.
Okay. Are you from a particular tribe? I mean,
I'm African American, Native American.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You, brother?
I believe the Native Americans were the first people in this country, on this land. Columbus was the first person from the Eastern Hemisphere to come here and who discovered this country.
Okay, you know what, I've done some reading, and I'm not going off what people say. I'm asking opinions. My understanding is that Christopher Columbus never even made it to America. He really made it, I think, I know that around Cuba, and all this is true in your opinion?
According to the historical record, he made it to the islands in the Caribbean, and as I recall, his last trip, he was off the coast of what we now call Venezuela. Northern South America, he made the coast there. So in a sense, if you say the islands are part of the Americas, or if northern coast of South America is part of the Americas, he didn't make it to the Americas.
What's your take on it?
I believe Pizarro. Pizarro, when he landed with the Inca people, those are our same people, the native people. And one of the things that for the Sioux Nation, which I'm a member of, one of the things that we do is we document who we are. It's through the government set up by George Washington that we have to document who we are. And that's not fair. It's not fair for people to have to prove who they are. We know who we are. and things. And far as Christopher Columbus, he was lost.
Okay, he
And
did not make it to America.
We found him. We did, and we were very, very good to him. And we helped bathe him. They were stink when they came, and they were full of pestilence and things, and we healed them with our medicines. And this is one of the medicines that we have.
I see that.
Yes.
What is it?
It's sweetgrass, and we burn it at ceremonies and things. And this is a turtle, which is the resemblance of Mother Earth.
Okay.
And we sit on the turtle's back, all of us.
Okay. Your opinion? Did he make it to America?
Yes. If
Why you said it?
Like Mr. Gadomski said, he reached Venezuela, and that's part of the North American continent. So I say that's why I believe he made it to America.
Okay. Guess I'm not gonna give my spin on it because you know what, I'm trying to be unbiased. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like it is and let the viewers decide for their own. Look like you was getting ready to say something. What you getting ready to say, Dale?
No, just yawning.
I would like to say something.
Okay.
One of the things that we really need to change in our society is we need to have our Native people write our Native books. We need to have our African American people write our African American books. Those are my people. Those are where I come from. And we need to write them instead of having the Anglo-Saxon come in and write our books for us to tell us who we are or who they think we are. We know who we are. That has to change. When Christopher Columbus came, he said, "We have discovered you. You can't discover a people that are already here. We are here. We have been here for centuries."
Would you agree with that, Bill?
Well, I would say that, well, you know, it's the ideal is that one should describe one's own peoples. But often it takes an outsider to describe a people accurately. Lewis Henry Morgan, definitely not a Native American, did an excellent job in Ancient Society and in the Iroquois, the League of the Iroquois, in describing Native American life in North America, their political structure, social structure, economic structure. In other words, pre-capitalist structure.
Okay.
Lewis Henry Morgan is actually, unfortunately, neglected in our modern universities today. His classic, The League of the Iroquois, and his classic, Ancient Society, is almost impossible to find in modern American universities. It's there, stacked, buried in the library.
I think it's people like that, sir, that basically that write those books. They're not allowed in the ceremonies, so they surmise what happens in those ceremonies. Then they write about them.
Well,
But they are not allowed into the ceremonies, and it's a sacred place where only the people of their culture is allowed there.
Okay.
And if they know, if they wrote that book, it's because it's secondhand. And we need firsthand, even in our colleges here.
Okay.
And I like what you said, sir, about having the colleges have certain books in there. Certain books aren't allowed in those colleges.
Well, Lewis Henry Morgan was entered into, I think, the Mohawk tribe as a member, and I think his documentation, I think, is quite accurate. And in fact, he was one of the few, might call Eastern intellectuals, defending Sitting Bull when Custer assaulted him.
Sitting Bull.
Yes, he was defending Native Americans. So he has, Lewis Henry Morgan has a long track record of defending Native American rights.
Okay.
Unfortunately, again, in a modern American university, he is highly neglected, highly.
And you know who else defended American rights?
Who's that?
Custer. And Custer came.
Custer's last stand.
Yes, and he came and defended them when he was over, and he was serving in, I believe he was born on the East Coast. And when he went to some military academy there to become this great general, he also defended. But when he was out in the field, he was slaughtering our people, not only our men, but our women and children. And he would lure our men out of our camps and take our women and children and our grandmothers and slaughter them. And that's why he came.
You know
to
what?
his
I'm gonna have to
demise.
do a show with you.